General Hospital spoilers tease that the tension between Dante Falconeri and Gio Palmieri will explode into the open this Friday, May 16th, as whispers swirl through Port Charles about a betrayal that cuts deeper than anyone could imagine. From shadowy corners of the docks to the hushed halls of Corinthos Enterprises, the stage is set for a confrontation steeped in secrets, misplaced loyalties, and the hidden ties that bind two men destined to clash and, perhaps, to reconcile. The morning sun rises over Port Charles, its pale light filtering through Venetian blinds in Dante Falconeri's office at Metro Court. Dante, ever the consummate detective, stares at a dossier that seems more like a Pandora's box than a routine case file. The subject, Gio Palmieri. The accusation, sabotage. The evidence, torn photographs of cars with shredded brakes, hastily scribbled witness statements, and the ominous suggestion that Gio, a soldier turned enforcer for the Corinthos organization, had a hand in a plot to derail Rocco Falconeri's safety in the name of retribution. For weeks, Dante has followed the breadcrumbs of an alleged plot to tamper with Rocco's car, a twisted scheme that left the young boy's life hanging in the balance. Every lead pointed to Gio, a man whose stoic facade and unwavering loyalty to sunny Corinthos made him both a formidable ally and a potential liability. Now, the walls seem to close in on Dante as he pores over the file, each page a reminder of how far he's willing to go to protect his son and how tenuous his own alliances have become. Meanwhile, up in Sonny's plush office overlooking the harbor, whispers of Dante's investigation reach the mob boss's ears. Sonny, who has long viewed Gio as the ideal son-in-arms, steady, reliable, fiercely protective, frowns as he reads Dante's latest report. The idea that Gio might betray the family trust feels like a personal affront. Yet Sonny's instincts tell him that something about this accusation doesn't sit right. He knows Dante's heart bleeds for his son, that every decision he makes is filtered through a lens of paternal fear and anger. But could Dante's judgment be clouded? Sonny decides it's time to intervene. That afternoon, Sonny summons Gio to the Quartermain docks for a private meeting. Gio arrives, posture rigid, senses razor-sharp. He's spent the last few days dodging suspicious glances and half-whispered threats. When Sonny appears, dressed in an impeccably tailored suit, Gio senses an uneasy calm. Sonny places a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "Gio, I want to clear the air," he says quietly. "Dante's been heated. He thinks you had something to do with the Falconeri boys' accident. But I know you. And if you didn't do this, I'll vouch for you." Gio, masking relief with a stoic nod, feels a flicker of hope. Unbeknownst to both, however, Dante and Gio share a secret bond stronger than they could ever fathom: blood. Dante storms out of Metro Court to confront his own emotional tempest. He's torn between anger at Gio and an odd, inexplicable ache in his chest, a phantom pull that neither logic nor evidence can dispel. He's certain Gio sabotaged Rocco's brakes to punish him for getting too close to Sonny's empire. And yet, every time he replayed their childhood images in his mind, Gio proudly strapping on his first uniform, Dante guiding a younger Gio through self-defense drills, something felt off. How could Gio, the boy he once trained, turn traitor? Dante wears his fury like armor, but inside, doubts begin to fester. That night, Corinthos Enterprises hums with its usual undercurrent of power plays. Sonny and Dante stand on opposite sides of a tension-laden negotiation over Joe's future. "I'll handle it," pops Dante snarls, eyes flashing. "You stay out of this." Sonny's jaw tightens. "You're my son, Dante. And you're blind if you don't see what I'm seeing." Their voices crackle through the opulent office, every barbed word a testament to how little father and son truly know about each other, or perhaps, how much they choose to ignore. Meanwhile, far from the underbelly of the mob world, Lucky Spencer wrestles with the moral fallout of protecting Christina Corinthos Davis. The memory of a late-night phone call, breathless with fear, plays on a loop in Lucky's mind. Christina confessed she'd tampered with Rick Lansing's brakes, intending no real harm but desperate to send a message about Rick's contempt for her. When Liz and Rick's car careened off the road, she'd blamed herself immediately. Yet, she'd confided in Lucky, begging him to keep her secret to spare his family more agony. At the time, Lucky had seen only a frightened girl who needed shielding. Now, with Liz Baldwin's suspicions growing, Lucky's protective light threatens to consume him. Liz corners Lucky in the dimly lit halls of General Hospital, mid-shift. Her eyes are relentless. "Lucky, I need your help to inspect Rick's car. Something's not right." Lucky forces a smile, a practiced deflection. "Of course, Liz. I'm happy to help once things settle down." But Liz's gaze cuts through the pretense. She knows him too well. She senses his hesitation, the shadows of guilt flickering behind his eyes. That moment lingers, a flash of recognition that Lucky's silence harbors something more sinister than a routine accident. Under the hospital's harsh neon lights, Liz retraces the steps of that fateful night. She examines tire shards, studies the hydraulic lines, questions the repair logs. Each clue points to foul play. But when Lucky steps in rooting through the garage, feigning interest, he disrupts her forensic pace with distracted chatter. "You don't think Rick's shop would fabricate evidence, do you?" He jokes, but Liz only narrows her focus. "You're evading Luke." "What are you hiding?" The accusation slices the air between them. Hounded by guilt, Lucky flees to seek counsel from Alexis Davis. In Alexis's chic living room, walls lined with legal tomes and family photos, Lucky's confession tumbles out. Christina's midnight prank gone wrong, Liz and Rick's accident, the pressure to protect a loved one at all costs. Alexis, aghast, alternates between maternal fury and calculating concern. Unbeknownst to Lucky, Alexis herself is under the thumb of Rick and Ava Jerome, who have begun blackmailing her over past indiscretions. The revelation casts Alexis in a new light, a protector under duress, trapped between the sins of her daughter and her own endangered reputation. As Lucky describes Liz's sleuthing, Alexis's eyes flash. She realizes Liz could expose Christina and, by extension, Alexis's own secrets at any moment. "We need a plan," Alexis whispers, tracing the rim of her coffee cup. Lucky nods, heart pounding. He doesn't yet see it, but Alexis's involvement will trigger a series of betrayals and half-truths, sending Julia's legal acumen careening into dangerous water. Back on the streets of Port Charles, Brooke Lynn Quartermain grapples with her own heartbreak. The news of a lost son, taken from her at birth and shrouded in mystery, has shattered her calm. Nights find her poring over dusty church records, orphanage ledgers, and adoption files. Each page she turns is a siren song of hope and grief. Meanwhile, her husband, Harrison Chase, watches her struggle from the doorway of their elegant living room. Chase, a man of action and empathy, understands that Brooke Lynn's pain cuts deeper than any trauma he's witnessed in the ER. He steps forward, offering more than words. He promises to hunt down that long-lost child alongside her, diving into police records, making calls to hidden contacts in the mob, leveraging his status as Brooke Lynn's husband and a trusted ally of Sonny. To unearth the truth. Brooke Lynn, though grateful, hesitates to share one crucial suspicion, that Dante Falconeri might be the father of her missing baby. Memories flicker of a fleeting romance during her days as an undercover journalist chasing a scoop on Sonny's empire. But she buries those thoughts, fearful of dredging up old wounds. For now, she focuses on the files, every line a testament to a mystery she's vowed to solve no matter the cost. In a downtown cafe bathed in late afternoon sunlight, Cody Bell overhears a hushed conversation between Lulu Spencer and her confidant. Lulu's voice trembles as she reveals her own investigation into the identity of Brooke Lynn's missing child, the very child she suspects to be Gio Palmieri, now sitting in a high-stakes standoff with Dante. Cody's ears perk up. He knows the truth. Gio is that missing boy, adopted under strange circumstances and raised steeped in loyalty to Sunny. But revealing this would upend every relationship in town, jeopardize Dante's world, and possibly thrust Gio into unimaginable turmoil. So Cody swears Lulu to secrecy, wrapping her in supportive half-lies and gentle coercion, even as his own heart aches at the thought of his friend being kept in the dark. Dante's rage at Joe's perceived betrayal pulses alongside a confusing tenderness he can't name. Sunny stands between fatherly pride and mob boss pragmatism, torn about whose side to take. Lucky and Alexis balance guilt and blackmail, each trying to protect their loved ones while battling their own moral compasses. Brooklyn and Chase embark on a quest for a child lost to time, each revelation threatening to shatter their idyllic marriage. And Cody holds the key to identities that could spark reconciliation or total destruction. In the stillness before the storm, Port Charles holds its breath. Loyalties will snap, truths will emerge, and two men bound by blood and kept apart by lies will find their worlds colliding in ways none of them could predict. The city awakens to an electric tension as the day of reckoning dawns. Sunny's private office buzzes with activity. Soldiers and accountants alike sense the undercurrent of change. Sunny, in his tailored suit, stands over a long mahogany table littered with vehicle blueprints and security camera footage. Across from him, an uncharacteristically silent Dante stands, chin set, arms crossed. Neither will make the first move, but both know this meeting will change everything. Sunny begins with measured words. Dante, Joe's like a son to me too. I need to know what really happened. Dante's jaw clenches. Sunny, don't patronize me. The evidence is clear. Gio had access to Rocco's car and motive to scare me. Sunny leans forward, voice low. And I told you, I trust Gio. You can't let your anger blind you. Dante's eyes blaze. Don't lecture me on trust. You know nothing of what I feel when that boy's life is on the line. Silence hangs between them. Outside, Port Charles continues oblivious to the seismic shift about to shatter families. Meanwhile, down at Metro Court, Liz Baldwin makes her decisive play. She corners Alexis in the courthouse corridor. Alexis, I'm opening an inquiry into Rick's accident, and I won't be stonewalled. Alexis, face pale, grips the railing. Liz, please, you don't understand, but Liz's gaze is steel. You've been acting strange. If you're covering for someone, now's the time to come clean. A beat passes, heavy as guilt itself. Alexis exhales, her resolve hardening. Fine, but you have to promise me discretion. This involves Christina. Liz's eyes widen. Christina? Your daughter. She made a mistake, Liz. She never meant to hurt anyone. Liz's jaw tightens. Intention doesn't matter when someone could have died. I'll do this my way. At General Hospital, Lucky Spencer stands in the hushed stillness of Rick Lansing's ICU room. Rick, bandaged and unconscious, lies on the gurney. Liz watches from the doorway. Lucky feels the weight of his lies like anchors pulling him under. He steps forward, voice hollow. Liz, I promised Alexis I wouldn't say. Liz spins. You promised Alexis? Lucky, you're hiding this. The accusation hits Lucky like a physical blow. He sinks into a chair. I'm trying to protect Christina. Liz's eyes narrow. Protect her? You're betraying everything, me, Rick, the truth. Lucky's shoulders slump. I know. And I'll live with that. Liz turns and storms out, determined to pursue the evidence herself. Outside, under storm-dark clouds, Brooklyn and Chase sift through a dusty warehouse where orphan files have been archived. Chase holds a faded photograph of a newborn, Brooklyn's trembling hand tracing the baby's face. This could be him. Brooke, Chase whispers. Brooklyn's breath hitches. But what if it's not? Chase steps closer, pulling her into an embrace. Then we keep searching. Together. Brooklyn nods, tears glimmering in her eyes. She allows herself a moment of vulnerability, imagining the son she's never known. Back at the docks, Dante finally confronts Gio. The stench of saltwater blends with diesel fumes as Gio paces near a sleek speedboat. Dante approaches, hand hovering near his holster not to draw, but to anchor himself. Gio, he begins, voice rough. Gio turns. Detective. Neither offers a greeting. Dante's eyes search Joe's face for guilt, but sees only tension. I need the truth, Dante says. Gio exhales. I didn't touch those brakes. Dante's brow furrows. Then who did? Joe's jaw tightens. Ask Sonny. Dante recoils. You're playing games. Gio steps closer, voice low. I know you hate me, but I'd never hurt Rocco. Dante's hand twitches, then relaxes as a familiar pang of brotherhood pulls at him. You're my brother, he blurts. Joe's eyes widen in shock. What did you say? Dante swallows. But before he can finish, a black SUV brakes to a stop nearby. Sonny emerges, flanked by guards. He strides forward, eyes locked on Dante. The air crackles as father, sons, and secrets converge. Sonny raises a hand, commanding silence. Dante, Gio, he says, voice brokering no argument. It ends now. He turns to Gio. Tell him. Gio exhales, meeting Dante's gaze. I never did it. I never wanted to hurt Rocco. You're like family. Dante's chest heaves. Then why? Gio interrupts. Because I did something else. He pulls a crumpled file from his pocket. I found proof the brakes were cut at the mechanic's shop. Someone on the inside. Dante unfolds the papers, a maintenance log with forged signatures. His eyes dart back to Gio. Where did you get this? Gio points at Sonny. You. Corinthos Enterprises. Someone's trying to frame me with metadata from your cameras. Dante stares at Sonny, anger flashing. Sonny holds up a hand. I'm sorry. I didn't know. When I heard your investigation, I thought I'd protect Gio by hiding evidence from you. Dante staggers back as the weight of betrayal and misunderstanding crashes over him. Gio steps forward, placing a steady hand on Dante's arm. We're on the same side, he says. Dante's posture crumbles. Why didn't you tell me? Joe's voice breaks. I was scared you'd believe the worst. Dante's eyes glisten. I believed the worst of my own flesh and blood. The admission leaves them both raw, exposed to truths they'd buried too long. Meanwhile, in Alexis's law office, Liz storms in with irrefutable evidence, a mechanic's confession, surveillance footage from a neighboring lot showing a masked figure entering Rick's garage. Alexis stands in stunned silence. Liz slams the file down. You knew Christina was involved, and you let her walk free. Alexis's face crumples. I was protecting her. I never thought she'd really hurt anyone. Liz's voice shakes. Intent can't absolve action. You're going to testify. Alexis nods, tears streaming. Yes. Together, they prepare to face the fallout. At Brooke Lynn's, Chase bursts in, triumphant. He holds a faded birth certificate bearing a name, Giovanni Palmieri. Brooke Lynn's heart pounds. Gio. Palmieri, she whispers. Chase nods. He's your son. Brooke Lynn's knees buckle. But I thought, Chase catches her. It's him. I checked the DNA registry. Brooke Lynn's tears fall freely as the revelation shatters barriers between past and present. In the courthouse that evening, the gavel falls as Alexis Harris Davis takes the stand, eyes blazing with resolve. She testifies to Christina's confession, the brake tampering, and her own attempts to shield her daughter. Christina stands beside her, trembling but steadfast. The courtroom hums with tension as Liz's cross-examination lays bare the tangled web of lies and loyalties. Outside, reports fly through the newswire. Corinthos scandal rocks Port Charles. Falconeri brothers reunited in harrowing twist. Spencer Davis family faces guilty pleas. Back at the docks, as rain begins to fall, Dante and Gio stand side by side before the water. Dante removes his badge and places it gently on the rail. I nearly lost sight of what matters, he admits. Gio nods. Family matters. Dante hesitates, then presses his forehead to Joe's. I'm sorry, brother. Gio drops the file at his feet. So am I. They embrace, a bond reforged in revelation. Across town, Brooke Lynn holds her newborn grandson, Joe's son, Rocco's best friend, entrusted to her care while Gio and Dante rebuild their fractured family. Brooke Lynn's voice trembles as she murmurs promises of love and redemption to the child she thought lost forever. In the aftermath, Port Charles begins to pick up the pieces. Sonny convenes his council, determined to root out corruption within his own ranks. Dante returns to his badge, more compassionate and cautious than before. Gio, now vindicated, remains by Sonny's side, no longer a suspect, but a brother in arms. Lucky and Liz reconcile in the chapel at General Hospital, admitting their shared mistakes and forging a path toward trust. Christina, spared a prison sentence, enters a treatment program for impulsivity and anger management, supported by Alexis. Brooke Lynn and Chase, bonded more deeply by their quest, plan a baptism for their newly discovered grandson, surrounded by family both old and new. And so, in a city defined by shifting alliances and buried truths, the Falconeri brothers stand stronger than before. The Spencers and Corinthoses forge new alliances, and Port Charles itself turns a page on one of its darkest chapters. Proof that even in the depths of deception, hope, loyalty, and love can light the way forward.